Grand Rising, YouTube. Grand Rising. Hope y'all feeling well today. Be sure to like and subscribe to this video if you want to get more content. Chef Joseph's Kick Sauce and Entrepreneurs channel. My subject for today is that I've paid the price. And when I say that, I know people, people may have heard that saying before, but I am telling you literally, I have paid the price. Physically, spiritually, mentally. I am a really, really good person, right? A person who believes I'm a comeback kid. You know what I'm saying? I definitely believe in the best for people. Because I've been at the bottom. I know what that's like. And I know what it's like to come up from the ashes. And what I am saying to you is that you're talking to a man who rode a bicycle to work with one pedal in the snow. And most of you do not know my story. You may see me moving. I see the looks I get in the restaurant space. Unfortunately, from people that look like you who haven't leveled up with their life. I think it's pretty sad to really dislike someone and you don't even know who the person is, right? Because you may be surprised. That's why you should never throw off on anyone. Like, get to know a person before you cast judgment on anyone. That's for real. I am saying that to say that I paid the price to be here in the space that I'm in. When I first moved here homeless, by choice, but to build business. That's the reason that I moved here. And I slept in every homeless program here. Every city, most of the cities here, I slept in a homeless program some 12 years ago, 13, 14 years ago, to entering into the restaurant space. And when I look back, it wasn't as bad as what it seemed, because I've learned how to maneuver as a man to basically become resourceful within those struggles, And how the start happened with me in particular was, I couldn't find a job. And what happened was I started selling hot sauce. Chef Joseph's Kick Sauce. That's my brand. And what ended up happening from there is I got a phone call from a large organization who said, hey, we're looking for some people that can provide food because we're shutting down our cafeteria and we're going to save the company X amount of dollars. So we're just going to reach out to people like yourself and others on a pretty serious contract, which was great. Okay. I didn't know what to buy. I didn't know what to bring. So I messed around and started going to a particular organization, getting chicken that was already pre-cooked. It was still hot, so I was getting it and bringing it back and then selling it. And you have to have tough skin in this business, because I remember one lady was like, oh, this is such and such chicken. You ain't make this. Just loud. I mean, so embarrassing loud that the people was like, look, lady, why, the man's out here trying to do his thing, you know what I'm saying? If you don't want the chicken, you ain't got to eat here, you know what I'm saying? But you know what? I didn't even say a mumbling word, right? I was just like, you know what? It's all good. I'm going to get there. So I went and got 2 fish pots from Amazon, little small fish pots. And I started frying fish in 40-degree temperatures, 50-degree temperatures. At times when the wind, because we were right by the water, the wind would blow and take the tent all the way up. And people waiting in the line, they'll grab a leg of the tent. You know what I'm saying? And but they still was faithful. And from that point, I was able to purchase an enclosed trailer. I purchased 1 deep fryer, then I purchased 2. Then I purchased a griddle, and I started frying fish. Sometimes I made I did really well actually, but there are days I didn't do so well. All that extra fish, I used to go right to the homeless shelter and give it away. We talking about flounder, not cheap. I gave a lot of fish plates away, but real. And yeah, that's what I did to give back to the less fortunate. You know, I didn't want anything in return, but I tried to provide jobs. I also went back to the same homeless shelters that I was homeless in, and I basically provided jobs. Went to the same brothers that I was homeless with and said, hey, y'all need a job? Cool, put them on. And that is how I got my start. Building the food truck space, commercial kitchen space, just building, and trying to do my part on the planet before I leave here. And it's very unfortunate and very sad to see how your own can really hate on you. Not because you did anything to them, but just because you're just on your game. This is not about a color thing. I don't hate anyone. I'm very focused, very driven, and everyone has the same amount of time in a day. Really, they do. And one thing about it, I'm a CEO. I don't answer the questions. I'm the one that asks the questions and expect a response. That's just what it is. You tell me what job you go to, and you asking them questions about how they do this and this, that, and the other. No. You can ask questions about work-related stuff, but hey. But yeah, but for some reason, that seems to be a problem with a certain sect of people. I'm just going to leave that there. I paid a price for this. Like everything from product and retail development on to food trucks, on into the restaurant space, health department inspections, you name it. I have gained a lot of vast information on this. I'm pretty much an expert at it. I don't like to say that because there's someone always doing better than you or knows a little bit more. But yes, I have years in the game in this thing. And it's very sad to see, that people who want to find fault in you, want to criticize you, want to have something to say. Not because you're doing anything, but because you're just doing what you're supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? With the time you're given. One thing I can say that will stop a lot of people is the excuses. I am so done with excuses. So done with excuses, right? Like, I'm so allergic to excuses, I don't know what to tell you. I don't do them. Because you're talking to a man who rose up out the ashes. And there were no excuses when you're at that homeless shelter and they serve at 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock. And look, it'd be 38 degrees outside and everybody's standing in the line, waiting to get into the church so they can have a bed to sleep in. I've seen many people wake up over the years and be like, they eat their breakfast, they gone for the whole day. They come back to the shelter 6 o'clock, half drunk. Knock, 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 knock. Oh, sir, we can't let you in. Well, I'm only like 3 minutes late. We served at 6 and the beds and checked in is at 6 o'clock. You were not here, sir. We have no bed for you. Oh, that's dead wrong. Really? Like Snoop said, really though? Really though? How? Yeah, you get it. For those who know. Thankfully, I've never been one to not have a bed. It was the Most High's favor on me, really. I was always on time, always in place, but it was like I've had divine favor, and what I can tell you is that I paid a price for this. The scripture talks about he that digs a ditch shall dig two. Let me repeat that. He that digs a ditch shall dig two of them. You know what that second one is for? I have had people hating on me, right? you know, with plantation mentalities, straight up. I paid a price to do what I do, and I don't think I'm better than no one. I'm really a very down-to-earth person. But it's very unfortunate that you have certain people who really want to find fault or they have a problem with authority. Even as a CEO or any other CEO listening to this, y'all know there are rules. Whether you own a company or working for a company or you're an employee, there are still rules. There's still rules to this game called life. It is rules to this. There's rules when you're driving in a car. You know what I'm saying? Stoplights, everything. Why is it so hard for you to follow rules from people that look like you? I'm just being honest. Let me tell you this story. I remember I was working at a company, and I had only been there like 2 weeks. And the guy came to me. I guess he was the team lead, and he was like, "Hey, I'm glad you're here. I'm glad we needed another person to fill this position. But you came in during inventory season. So what'll end up happening is, in about 2 weeks we're gonna take inventory. But I'm gonna come around and I'm gonna tell you that we're about to take inventory, and then because you have to come in 1 hour early." And I'm saying, "Okay, that's cool. That's another hour, And so I was there for like 2 weeks, and then I came in at regular time, like on a Monday. The same guy came back to me. He was like, "Oh my God, you're late. You're late. I just punched in at 7 o'clock." I'm like, "What do you mean?" I said 7 o'clock. He said, No, you're supposed to be here at 6. You're supposed to be here at 6. And I'm like, "Oh my God, is the roof burning?" I mean, the roof burning on fire. What is this? You know what I'm saying? Because you told me you were going to tell me when to come here because I'm still learning the system. And so, oh God. And I'll call him Richard for the sake of the conversation, which was the head person. "Oh, I gotta tell Richard. What is Richard gonna do?" I'm like, "God, what?" And so I go on with my work, and I happen to look up, and Richard was walking down the floor, right? And he's just looking at me like real hateful, and I'm like, "Oh boy," but I don't know fear, so it was okay. So Richard was like, "You're late," and I said, "No, I didn't know, I was supposed to be here at, 7 o'clock. He said, "No, we take inventory. You're supposed to have been here at 6. I said, "Sir, I did not know. The team lead told me he'll let me know when I was going to be late, when I come in or whatever." He said, "Get off of my property or I'll have you removed." I said, "Sir, I did not know. Can you please give me a chance?" At that time, my daughter was just born. I really needed that job, right? "Get off of my property, I'll have you removed." And he walked off. That stuck with me until this day. That was a very hard pill for me to swallow. But you know what it taught me? It taught me several lessons, but I would say one, first off top of the brain, is to always be on time. And that really hurt me for a while, because I'm like, man, whatever. So when I look at the people that are in my sphere, who the Most High has allowed me to I'm not gonna use the word oversee, but I'll just say to allow to come into my presence with for business, things like that. It seems like a lot of people have problems with authority, for real. I always say, you're not gonna do Uncle Charlie that way. You know what I'm saying? Coming in 2 minutes late, 3 minutes late, this, that, and the other. We don't do that here. Remember, I ate at a shelter. You had to be there at a certain time. Not for one day, not for 1 week, but I'm talking about for years. But understand, for those who listen and say, "Oh my God, Chef was homeless." Yeah, I was homeless, and would do it again if it came down to it, because guess what? I know how to survive. And you know what the beautiful thing about it was? I was able to quieten down and to formulate my plan. That was a beautiful thing right there. Yeah, so for those of you who are struggling, going through homelessness and stuff, look, that's actually not a bad place to be, believe it or not, because you ain't got a lot going on and you can focus on what you're trying to do. And with that being said, the hate is real. I have generally tried to help everyone who was in my space, and they know this. Not gonna call any names or initials because you know who you are. And we know who you are. And I've been good to people, yo, for real. You know, I've been good to people. I try to talk to people. I try to give you a chance. But you're not going to come into my space late. That's not what you're not going to do. You're not going to do it at Walmart or Target. You look, if you're supposed to punch in at this time, this is the time you punch in. Oh, you've been here a week, 2 weeks. Tuesday, you got a flat tire on the front, on the bicycle, flat tire on the front. Then you have a front tire on the back tire, 2 days later. Then you don't even show up to work. And this is a situation that periodically keep happening. I said, look, young man, you keep coming to my space late, you're not going to be working here. It's just what it is. Oh, okay. And this is your last time, as a matter of fact. What did he do? Come in late again. You know what I'm saying? And he was dismissed. I had a situation where I really did not want to let someone go. But it was insubordinate. I'm a CEO. I write the check. And for many of you who are paying people to do service in jobs or whatever the space may be in, you're not there to answer their questions. You're there to make sure things get done. And you pay them to do a job. Here's someone just testing me back and forth, disrespecting management. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, look, in one situation, I want an apology. This is not no kid you're talking to, and I stand behind this individual. Apology is required if you want to work here, because you're not going to be disrespecting management, not on my watch. And matter of fact, you should have been fired, but I gave you a chance. You didn't want to apologize. Well, Chef, I don't feel like I should apologize because, I'm not ready to apologize. Sound like somebody full of pride, huh? Yeah, that type of stuff. And not to mention, this person was like so in this meeting, want to throw personal things at me. Now, I don't even know. First of all, you work here. I'm not here to answer your personal questions. And for you to come out your mouth telling me what I'm dealing with, and you 31, 32, I mean, really, who does that? For y'all listening, you tell me the last time you went to work and you told the supervisor what they supposed to do, or telling them different things and refuse and just being insubordinate and running back and interrupting. That's the biggest thing. When the boss or the team lead is speaking, how dare you cut them off on multiple occasions? That means you've lost respect somewhere. Guess what? You can't be here. You got to roll. If you feel like you got to disrespect management and talk back to the owner of the company, you're insubordinate. You're insubordinate, period. I had another situation, and those of you know who you are. They tried to dig a ditch for me. How can I say this? Yeah. Conspiring to try to bring my operations down because y'all ain't leveled up. I'm here to tell you, he that digs a ditch shall dig two of them. He that digs a ditch shall dig two of them. Just let you know it did not work. It was actually a joke, because I'm laughing at you of trying to call certain folks on my establishment, and it was like, they was like, yeah. And the voicemail was played, so we know who did it. You only dug a grave for yourself, yo. Because touch not my anointed, do my prophets no harm. You have certain people that's sent here to do work, light workers. Those who have been sent here to do and to perform special assignments while they're here. Woe unto you who step in the way of that. Woe unto you. That's why, it's best for you to leave people alone. If you got a disagreement, just go your way. keep your stuff to yourself. Like Napoleon Hill said in 1920, what you do to and for someone, hello, let me repeat that slowly. What you do to and for someone, you do to and for yourself. And it will come back to you greatly multiplied. Let me repeat that. What you do to and for someone, you do to and for yourself. And it will come back to you greatly multiplied. He also went on to say, if you got something ill to say about someone, don't say it. He said, go to the beach, go to the water's edge and write it in the sand. Right. And let the waves carry it. For those of you who work for me, and I'm not getting too broad, I'm just saying, the conspirators, it didn't work. Because I'm actually laughing at you because you really have set yourself up spiritually for a downfall. Because you're messing with a very unique spiritual person here. And I was an apostle in the church. I'm not playing. My gifts, spiritual gifts, are wicked. And you like that. My tongue, my spiritual tongue is sharp. It's time for y'all to level up, yo. That's all I can tell you. And he that digs a ditch shall dig two of them. It's very unfortunate that some of you will not make it because of insubordination, thinking that you know it all, not willing to listen, not willing to follow and take orders, not realizing this is just a stepping stone to your next plateau. But you're so busy trying to work against people, trying to dig a ditch for them, trying to call authorities on them. I'm not talking about police or anything, just dealing in the food space, which did not work at all. And the sad part about it, I know who you are, and I gotta face y'all, but I'm not gonna say nothing because I know what you did, and the Most High gonna handle you for that. You know, someone sent me a quote yesterday. It was real. It was good. Let me read that. Let me see. Let me read this quote, right? This is pretty cool. And yeah, I'm gonna read this to you. This is pretty tight. So it said, this is what the quote says. You can't let a $2 attitude F up a